Hello and welcome to this edition of The Hill with April Ryan. Let's get started because we've got a lot to talk about. 4 is the magic number for former President Donald John Trump. He received his 4th indictment this week for tampering with the 2020 election results and stealing data. Fulton County prosecutor Fani Willis, when announcing the indictments against Trump and 18 other people, said they were part of a criminal enterprise.
Georgia, like every state, has laws that allow those who believe that results of an election are wrong, whether because of intentional wrongdoing or unintentional error, to challenge those results in our state courts. The indictment alleges that rather than abide by Georgia's legal process for election challenges, the defendants engaged in a criminal racketeering enterprise to overturn Georgia's presidential election result.
The indictments also include charges related to efforts to intimidate 2 black election workers in Georgia, a mother and daughter duo, Shane Moss and Ruby Freeman. Meanwhile, Willis has a 90% prosecution record, and she says she's hoping to go to trial in 6 months. Other facts about this Georgia case: the trial will be televised, and the Georgia governor cannot pardon Donald John Trump if he was found guilty. Well, Arkansas is the latest red state pulling high school AP African American Studies courses. Just days before school was set to begin, the Arkansas Department of Education decided to end the College Board's 2-year pilot program for AP African American Studies. The Arkansas Department of Education Secretary Jacob Olivia said the course didn't meet, quote, rules that have long been in place. But Steve Bumbaugh of the College Board counters.
Part of our message, particularly to young people, is this is actually a part of the African American narrative. There's always a struggle. And whatever is happening with this course right now in its early stages may well become an appendix to the course in another 10 or 15 years. And what I say and what others at the College Board say to students is just live this experience, just learn from it. This is something you're going to talk to your grandchildren about. Your living history.
Remember, it's election season, and there are a lot of issues on the kitchen table for discussion. I recently talked with Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, who said Black America should be on the lookout for a concerted Republican attack on Black mayors of urban cities.
What we know is going to happen in the next election is our cities are going to come under attack, especially our cities where you have African American mayors looking at problems like homelessness, looking at crime, and saying that the reason why we have these problems in these big cities is because Democrats are in charge. We need to be prepared to push back on that, because we can't allow the narrative to be that all social problems are because Democrats are in charge. Social problems exist because of decades of disinvestment, decades of shredding the social safety net.
No police accountability in this presidential election cycle. Democrats and Republicans are so focused on fighting crime, they're lessening their focus on accountability. Earlier this month, Senator Cory Booker introduced a bill looking to link police accountability to the funding of the Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services, often referred to as the COPS program. But Minnesota's Attorney General Keith Ellison says the issue spells political suicide for some politicians during an election year.
And let me tell you, when I ran for Attorney General the first time, I won by 100,000 votes. Not that much, but 3 or 4 points. This time I only won by 20,000 votes, less than a full point, like 0.9%. So, you know, some people think, well, if you even if you have somebody as guilty as Derek Chauvin, you're going to pay a political price if you advocate for true accountability.
And the issue of policing is the focus of a new documentary by award-winning filmmaker Stanley Nelson. Sound of the Police looks at the relationship between police and the Black community. I talked with Nelson recently, who said there are tragic consequences that can occur when white women, often referred to as Karens, use police to settle minor disputes.
There's a feeling, again, that any white person can call the police on any black person, and you know the hidden agenda is that, you know, well, I'm going to call my police, and you know what's going to happen when the police come. And we do. You know, our confrontations with police are by and large negative. You know, I told my son when he was a teenager, you know, like, you just want to avoid any contact with police.
Thank you, Stanley Nelson. His documentary, Sound of the Police, is airing on Hulu. And that's it for this edition of The Hill with April Ryan. Thanks for watching, where we amplify the news about us and for us. Until next time, peace.